ceiling it. It was a rotating room, and we got that idea from Stanley Kubrick's The Shining, when the elevator bleeds. That elevator's actually upside down, so you use gravity as your propulsion force. The problem was, we were very successful with Amanda in the room, and it worked so great, we redressed the room and made it Johnny's room for when the bed gushed blood. The problem was they spun the room the wrong way. And Wes Craven and the director of photography, Jacques Heitman, were strapped into Volkswagen bucket seats. And as the room revolved the wrong way, the blood all came in and flooded that side of the room where they were strapped into bucket seats and rushed out of Johnny Depp's window and onto the sound stage floor. And if you know anything about how we make movies, there's nothing on the floor but cables, which are wires, which are electricity. And I saw this wave of blood coming, and I was standing there with Heather. I had half my makeup on, and I ran out. I grabbed Heather, and we booked, you know. We'd gone in to watch the effect, but yeah, that was scary. That was a scary day. A special effects crew had been working 48 hours straight. And the guy that did that effect, he's a genius. He worked on the glove, he did a lot of things that you love in movies. He became the guy that designed all of the singing, dancing fountains in Las Vegas that all moved to music. That's who Jim Doyle is now. He's sort of the king of the Las Vegas fountains.
All right, you, sir?
Mine was definitely Tina's, but out of all the movies, what was your favorite out of the entire franchise?
Thank you.
Did they actually wait behind him or wait until he leaves? Or what?
I think Tina's is the most visceral, right? Yeah, and I think people really react to that. Amanda's death is pretty amazing. My favorite is the boy with the hearing aid in part 6.
Wait, it's like stand behind him and wait?
It's so politically incorrect. I love it. You know? Because I think Freddie's an equal opportunity killer, you know? I kind of like that about him. And I also, you know, I have a lot of fans, and I have friends that have special needs. People that are the people that might be in a wheelchair, people with sight problems. They're fans just like the rest of us. They like a good horror movie, they like a good action movie, and they also would like to be included, I think, as bad guys and victims. We always try to make everybody with special needs a saint, you know, and I think it's much more fun when we just sort of like let everybody be everything, you know. So I thought it was kind of perfect for politically incorrect Freddie, you know, to take off on the kid with the hearing aid. You know, you could hear a pin drop.
Anyone else? Favorite movie?
Favorite kills?
Favorite kills?
Lisa, do you have a favorite kill?
Other than mine that ever happened.
Oh, you just love Danny's. You like Danny's death.
Gosh, I love Debbie's kill insect. You know, it turns into that cockroach, and her face is in that gooey stuff, and she's turning, and I just dig it.
Well, you know what else is great about that? Is again,
Cockroach.
that's yeah.
And then the squirt, when you squirt in the, you know, the Roche Motel.
But you know, that's Brian Heatherland and those guys that when they wrote that, and Darabont. And what's great about that is, it's also, you know, you have to take this, you always have to take this test in school. It's one of the things you study, and I think for a lot of students, they give you this stuff too early. But, you know, Franz Kafka, the great absurdist playwright and writer, Metamorphosis, where the kid turns into a bug. And I love that. There's a real literary underpinning to what happens to her, you know, and the fact that I turn her into the thing that she fears the most, an insect, a bug, a cockroach. And then, if you guys remember, you guys are too young to remember, but the #1 commercial in America back then was, you know, you can check in, but you can't check out. So we were able to reflect the popular culture at the same time and have a little bit of academic, you know, semi-intellectual echoing and frame of reference to Franz Kafka.
It's a layered death. Many layers, yeah.
I think Amanda's death was incredible, absolutely horrific. I could hardly watch it.
I
for
could watch
so
it. She was
long.
in her panties.
And I had to, what?
I said I could watch it over and over again. She's in her panties.
Oh, well, that too. I mean, she's so beautiful. and she does such a great job. And she's crawling across that turning room, which I think was also used by Fred Astaire in one of his dancing movies. And then when she's dragged in the bag, I mean, I couldn't even watch that bag dragging part until about 10 years ago when we were sitting together in Chicago at a festival, and we were all watching it together, and everybody was drinking red wine, and the audience was calling out all the lines in the movie during the screening, and I sat there with Amanda and was able to watch the bag get dragged out. But that was incredible to me. Horrible.
Amanda's bi-coastal now, and I don't know how, I've never been to her apartment in New York, you know, and I'm imagining, my fantasy is that it's kind of like a loft, but years ago I saw a poster of Amanda at one of the greatest of all film festivals, the Brussels Festival of Fantasy, Horror and Science Fiction. It's a great festival and one of the best after parties in what's called the Vampire's Ball. And literally, like vampire queens on stilts blowing fire, and just an amazing, amazing event. And I was on the jury with Christopher Leigh, and every day I had to start watching Japanese horror movies at 8 in the morning, you know, with my cup of strong French coffee, and I'd walk up these stairs, and there was literally, you see these pillars here in the middle of this room, literally half the size of that pillar, there was this poster of Amanda in the body bag with the centipede coming out of her mouth. And I told Amanda about this when I got back, but I was like, I couldn't get it. It was somebody already had bid on it at this show. But I mean, and now that she's got a place in New York, I think she's probably got a wall big enough to hang it. Although I think her boyfriend might be a little intimidated by seeing that every morning. Amanda, brush your teeth.
Do you think that, Robert, do you think that the person who bought that poster knows that Freddy Krueger himself wanted it and he stole it away?
No, I'm not kidding you. I got outbid. You know, there's stuff in Europe. You guys are, I know you're all fans, and you brought me wonderful, wonderful stuff today. I can't even begin to tell you the cool laser discs I saw today from Asia. But yeah, there's stuff over there. We just haven't seen it. We have more censorship. So there's images from the Saw movies, and there's images from Insidious, and there's images from Nightmare on Elm Street on the posters and the artwork over there that you don't always see here. And this image of Amanda, it's off of a proof sheet, but it was expanded. And they did some kind of photoshopping to make the body bag look like it went on forever. But I mean, it's amazing stuff. No, I mean, some fan paid a ton of money for that back then. I think this is like, 98, 99 I'm talking, yeah.
Also, Amanda's part is like Janet Leigh's role in Psycho. In that, Amanda starts out as the main character, or co-main character with Nancy, with Heather, and then you expect her to be all the way through the movie, but she isn't. It's like a red herring in a way, because all of a sudden she's killed off, and yet for the very beginning she's basically the star. So that's also a dramatic thing that Wes did, showing his influence of Hitchcock.
All right, question over here.
Do you think that there will ever be another Nightmare on Elm Street?
Pardon?
Will there ever be another Nightmare on Elm Street?
Well, here's the only rumor I know, and then I'll throw it off to the panel here. Michael Bay, Platinum Dunes, owns the rights, or was given the rights through Time Warner to reboot the Friday the 13th films, the Nightmare on Elm Street movies, and the Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies. And through various degrees of success, they've begun to do this. And I just got back from England with Amanda, and I heard that they had approached Tuesday night. Someone approached Tuesday night, and Tuesday left me a message, are you going to do this? And I hadn't heard anything. But Tuesday night replaced Patricia Arquette in the role that Patricia Arquette played in part 3. And she did it in part 4. And I was thinking, well, they're not remaking 1 again. Tuesday couldn't play Bonnie's role, because Tuesday's in her 40s now. I said, she can't, what could it be? And then I thought, maybe they're going to remake 3 and 4 and combine them, and maybe they want Tuesday to play her own mother. From, where's the bourbon, bitch? And maybe, and that would be like an in thing for the fans to know. I mean, I don't know what else it could mean, but that's the only rumor I've heard. So anybody else that's heard any gossip or been on the interweb who wants to share any other potential gossip?
You heard the same one.
Well, that's the only rumor.
I haven't, but I'll be giving Tuesday a call tonight.
See what Tuesday night. Yeah, she might know something, and she was reticent, and so I don't know, but it would seem to me that maybe they're working on a script, and if they had Tuesday, they would create something interesting for her to be the sort of alcoholic mother, in that film. Maybe beat that part up more or something, and maybe even let her sing, because Tuesday sings great. Yeah.
So, in all, what is your favorite memory of the films that you were in the series? Do you want to go down the line here?
Well, my favorite memory is, first of all, we lost a really great man last year. I mean, Wes Craven, to me, was one of the greatest directors, friendliest. Anytime that I worked for him on 3 different films, Nightmare on Elm Street, Deadly Friends, and Scream 2. And anytime that I worked for him, he came up to me and he said, "Thank you very much, Leslie. That was wonderful." I mean, it was so amazing. Anyways, my favorite memory of Nightmare on Elm Street is that I'm really a stunt woman. I'm not an actress, but it was cheaper to hire the stunt woman and have me say the line as opposed to hiring 2 people, an actress and having me stunt double the person. So that's how I got the job, was actually through the stunt coordinator. But Wes came up to me, I wasn't given a script. I'm sure you guys had scripts. I wasn't given a script. Wes Craven said, "Okay, Nancy's going to come around the corner, run into you, and knock you to the ground, and I want you to say, 'Where's your past?'" And I mean, that's exactly what we did. We did the scene, "Where's your past?" Scrubbing out past. Anyways, the other part of my scene was I get to wear the Freddy Claus. I'm in the sweater. And Wes comes up to me and he says, "Okay, I am telling you right now, I'm going to give you the line, but I'm telling you right now, your voice will never be heard on the street. The line you're going to say is never going to be your voice because the actor is going to dub in the line. And it's, hey Nancy, no running in the hallway, dude." And I did it. And actually, Robert can fill in the story of, because I didn't even realize this until we did a convention a couple of years ago, of where you were and the studio you were in when you dubbed in.
Well, it was New York, because New Line Cinema was in New York, and Ronnie's going to love this. I don't think I told Ronnie this. I mean, I told Ronnie just about everything, and Amanda, but no, I was in New York to do the ADR and the additional dialogue placement, putting in the lines, and I went to the studio, and New York had not caught up with Los Angeles with sound equipment yet. They still had sort of Jackie Gleason, Honeymooners, 1950s, Ed Sullivan Show, sound stages, and they didn't do a lot of movies in New York then because it was cost prohibitive to shoot there. And so I went to do my ADR, and there was this beautiful woman with her back to me. And I was waiting, and Bob Shea, the head of New Line Cinema, was there. He was going to take me out to lunch. And I had to do my dialogue replacement. And so the door opened, and I was ushered into the sound room. And there was this beautiful woman with her back to me, and she turned and took off the old cracked leather headphones to hand to me. for my dubbing session.